This man gains evolution points by killing zombies to infinitely enhance his abilities. While S-class superhumans frequently die from exploding bodies trying to break through genetic barriers, Duan Fei, possessing an evolution tree, can break free of these barriers without restriction. As a result, the original seed intended for his sister's ability awakening was inadvertently absorbed by Duan Fei's evolution tree, feeding back to Duan Fei an explosive surge of energy that tore apart every cell in his body. Just as Duan Fei was at the crucial moment of his breakthrough, danger suddenly struck. The walls of the underground parking garage were breached by mutated rats, and 5 giant rats lined up before Duan Fei. He felt certain of his death, but the moment the mutated rats charged, he fell unconscious. The rats let out joyful roars, but the next instant, they felt an unprecedented bloodline suppression. The 3-hour-old Jinbao had unleashed its power. His eyes gleamed with lightning, and wings sprouted from his back like wings to a dog. Pure lightning attribute erupted from Jinbao's body. He stood in front of Duan Fei, wanting only to protect his father. Empowered by lightning, his speed was like a flash of lightning. His small body, due to its incredible speed, knocked 3 giant rats in half, causing them to let out childish roars. His attack even had a paralyzing effect. At this moment, an even greater danger quietly descended upon the zombies within the factory. Hearing the commotion, they rushed over and surrounded Duan Fei. Even though Jinbao wanted to protect his father, as a cub, he couldn't protect both. In the end, he charged towards Duan Fei without hesitation, because the giant rats had already opened their blood-red mouths, aiming at Duan Fei's head. Jinbao charged with all his might, but because of his small size, he was thrown out of the factory. A gunshot rang out. A bullet stopped the rampage. Yes, it was the military's men. Not far away, with the help of several soldiers behind him, they rushed into the underground garage. After a fierce battle, barely managing to halt the zombie attack, was it appropriate for a stranger like us to rashly enter the shelter? The answer was only 2 words. Survivors have the right to live. Xiaku immediately ordered Xiaoqin to take Duan Fei and evacuate. The others provided cover fire to close the garage door, and Xiaku notified everyone to prepare to move to another location. Meanwhile, Jinbao, who had been thrown back, was still in danger. Currently besieged by dozens of zombies and monstrous beasts outside the factory, Jinbao showed no fear. The moment his Thunder God aura erupted, the surrounding ground cracked. At this moment, the unconscious Duan Fei found himself inside the temple. However, the world tree in the statue's hand seemed to radiate a pale blue halo upon triggering some command. Then, brilliant golden patterns grew around the evolutionary tree, magnificent and radiant. This power of light was gradually being absorbed into every cell of Duan Fei's body as his genetic sequence changed. A sense of purification suddenly welled up within Duan Fei, starting from his forehead and spreading throughout his body. When Duan Fei awoke with a start, 4 full days had passed, leaving only 1 day until the impending apocalypse. At that moment, outside the factory, a giant golden wolf stood amidst a horde of zombies, watching Duan Fei with a detached gaze. "My head hurts," Duan Fei thought, before the officer, Xiakou, could finish his sentence. "Who are you? Why can you fight zombies?" he demanded. Duan Fei simply replied with 4 words, "No comment." Before Xiakou could finish, a figure appeared behind him, disarming him. With that, Duan Fei grabbed Xiakou from behind, pinning him to the ground and restraining his limbs. "You think you can stop me?" In that instant, 4 survivors burst into the factory. "Put down your gun, or I'll charge you with assaulting a police officer." Duan Fei was filled with respect, unable to feel hatred towards the soldier. He explained, "I'm the captain of the armed police. We rescued him from those rats." The other survivors were annoyed. They should have thrown him out to feed the zombies. At least they took care of him for 4 days. Upon hearing that he had been unconscious for 4 days, Duan Fei immediately rushed towards the door. "Exine, you must be worried sick at home." But instead, Duan Fei was being pointed at by the armed police. "Wait a minute. There are zombies everywhere outside. With your skills, joining us greatly increases our survival rate. What if I say no? However, just as Duan Fei was about to refuse, a huge black shadow suddenly appeared at the factory window. A violent roar shattered the glass, followed by a giant claw lunging at them. The escape scene was extremely chaotic. However, just as the claw was about to hit Lin 11, a loud crack was heard, and Duan Fei shielded the girl, using only his physical strength to withstand the attack. Get out of here quickly. Duan Fei was utterly astonished by his own reaction. At my 3G speed, I couldn't possibly catch up, he thought. And why has my strength increased so much? That attack from the behemoth weighed at least 3 tons. Yet the power within me seems to be gradually erupting under its pressure. Everyone who witnessed this broke out in a cold sweat. Is this still human? They wondered. Suddenly, Duan Fei roared, and the giant beast was sent flying with a single blow. Immediately afterward, Duan Fei leaped high, preparing to finish it off. He needed to find a spot that could deliver the fatal blow. He had to eliminate it quickly. He went back to find Xianyu and the others. Upon seeing the beast's appearance, Duan Fei's attack suddenly stopped, the power of his fist dissipating in all directions. Jin Bao, oh dear, it's you. Really, what happened to you? Duan Fei thought to himself. Jin Bao devoured zombies, and now he's this size. I can still withstand it barehanded. Could it be that my attributes have increased? But when he opened his attribute panel, his strength, agility, and the detection remained at level 3, but a new sentence appeared. To restart the perfect genetic engineering, 10,000 evolution points are required. Duan Fei's pupils constricted. Could it be that I've already activated it once? Duan Fei's consciousness immediately entered the temple, discovering that the original world tree sapling had undergone a drastic change. Could his unconsciousness be due to the genetic evolution engineering, and all remaining evolution points have been wiped out? It seems that activating this genetic evolution was precisely because the evolution tree absorbed the original species and 100 evolution points. In his previous life, Duan Fei had the good fortune to witness an S-class warrior who, in order to break through genetic shackles, risked everything and ultimately exploded and died. Now, not only can I break through the limitations of these shackles, but I can also become infinitely stronger with evolution points. Although it requires a lot of evolution points, it's definitely worth it. The next second, a dark figure reappeared in the factory. Duan Fei, riding Jinbao, returned to the top floor of the factory. Don't be nervous. This is my pet. It ate a lot of zombies to become this huge. The crowd, naturally, had never heard of such a thing and were filled with fear. Cute? Duan Fei thought, but he didn't have time to explain. The noise had attracted even more zombies, and the few armed police officers couldn't handle them. So, Duan Fei ordered them to immediately relocate the base. Just as they were facing a dilemma, Duan Fei told them there was a military shelter 40 kilometers away. You can go there, he said, but I have something more important waiting for me, more important than my life. To repay your care over the past 4 days, I'll go wipe out these zombies. You all need to evacuate immediately. After class, a strange sense of trust welled up inside him. Judging by his strength, he didn't seem to be exaggerating. He'd definitely ask for his name when they met again. So, Duan Fei took a roadside sign and used it as a weapon. The show was about to begin. With a snort, Duan Fei confidently pushed aside the fence. The sound immediately attracted the attention of all the zombies present. After class, he shouted for everyone to grab their belongings and evacuate according to plan. But Duan Fei wouldn't let Jinbao do anything. These are all my precious evolution points, he said. The next second, Duan Fei's eyes turned serious and earnest. I really want to know what kind of strength I'll have after my transformation. By the way, once Jinbao has sorted out all this, I'll take you home to meet your aunt. She'll definitely like you a lot.